As a kid, he moved so often that by age 9, he had lived in more places than most people see in a lifetime. His mom was only 6, though. Today, that same kid owns a 30,000 square foot mansion in the city that nearly swallowed him whole. He founded a school for children who grew up in the exact same struggle he survived. He provided homes for families. He built a modern health center for an entire neglected neighborhood. He launched a community center, featuring a museum that tracks his journey from absolute zero to global icon. He dropped $42 million to send 1,000 kids to college for free. LeBron James didn't just get rich and bail on Akron. He returned and bought the whole town. But his ownership isn't about deeds, titles, or legal paperwork. He owns it through the schools he built and through the jobs, healthcare, and promise he made to every local kid that someone was finally coming back for them. If you're new here, welcome to Black Status. We explore the wealth, power, and massive legacy of the Black community worldwide. Subscribe and hit the bell, because this story is much bigger than just basketball. This is how one man turned poverty into a billion-dollar empire and used that wealth to rebuild the hometown that nearly destroyed him. And the whole legendary journey began in a place called Spring Hill. Spring Hill. LeBron Raymond James arrived on December 30th, 1984, right in Akron, Ohio. Gloria James was a 16-year-old mother. His father was nowhere to be found. Gloria was just a teenager, raising a child alone in the roughest parts of a city that was already falling apart. Akron in the 80s was a town in decline. The rubber industry that built the city was rapidly collapsing. Factories shut down, jobs vanished. In the streets where Gloria raised her son, poverty wasn't a temporary phase. It was built into the walls. They moved constantly, not by choice, but by necessity. Evictions, broken buildings, and rent they just couldn't afford. By the time LeBron turned 9, he had bounced between so many apartments that the very idea of stability was completely foreign to him. He missed 83 days of school during the 4th grade. 83. Not because he was lazy, but because his chaotic life simply wouldn't let him attend. Then, a single moment changed his entire future. A local youth coach named Frank Walker spotted a kid with no structure, no home, and no safety net. He offered LeBron a room. Gloria, knowing she couldn't provide what he needed, made the absolute hardest sacrifice a mother could ever make. She let him go. LeBron joined the Walker home, where Frank finally introduced him to the game of basketball. For the first time ever, LeBron had a bed that stayed in the same place for more than 2 nights in a row. He started at St. Vincent St. Mary High, quickly becoming the most hyped basketball prospect in the history of American sports. ESPN aired his games nationwide. Sports Illustrated featured him on the cover as a junior, calling him the chosen one. On June 26, 2003, the Cleveland Cavaliers took him as the #1 overall NBA draft pick. He went from high school straight to the league. But before the fame and the billion-dollar net worth, there was one specific apartment. Spring Hill Apartments. Unit 602. This was where LeBron and Gloria finally found peace from 1996 to 2003. He later named his company after it. Remember that unit, because everything LeBron built in Ohio relates back to what he learned in those rooms. Now, the mansion. In 2003, at 18, LeBron bought a property in Bath Township, a quiet suburb near Akron, for $2.1 million. He leveled the original house and built something far more massive in its place. What stands there now is a 30,000 square foot fortress sitting on 7 acres of prime land. 6 bedrooms, 8 full baths, and 6 half baths. That's 14 bathrooms in a single home, for those of you keeping score. But the pure size and the bathroom count aren't what make this estate so legendary. It's what's inside. We're talking a 2-lane bowling alley, a casino room, a home theater with stadium seating, and a sports bar. There is a recording studio, a built-in wall aquarium, and even a barber shop, because billionaires need fresh fades too. Inside the master suite, you will find a massive 2-story walk-in closet. Not just a closet, it is a 2-story room with its own staircase. The property value is currently estimated between $9.2 and $10 million. Though in reality, a custom home of this massive scale is basically priceless, as no one else would ever build it. Back in 2006, before the mansion was finished, LeBron bought the house next door for $425,000. It is a 4,500 square foot property on 3 acres, featuring 4 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and a spa. Both homes are connected by one long, shared driveway. While most athletes buy mansions to show off, LeBron bought his to stay rooted in the city he loves. But a house is just a building. What LeBron did next is why he truly owns Akron. The promise. On July 30th, 2018, King James opened the I Promise School in Akron, Ohio. It operates as a public school within the local Akron district. Backed by the LeBron James Family Foundation, it was designed for one type of student the kid LeBron used to be. They target at-risk youth who are struggling financially, falling behind in class, or dealing with learning disabilities. This is the exact profile of kids living in the neighborhoods LeBron once called home. Kids like him, who missed 83 days of school in 4th grade. But LeBron did not just open a building. He tore down every single wall standing between a struggling child and their future education. Tuition is free, uniforms are free, meals are free, even the transportation costs nothing for the families. Every student gets a free bike and helmet. Classes run from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. That is longer than most public schools. LeBron knows those late afternoon hours are when kids in tough situations are most at risk. School starts in July, way earlier than usual, to prevent the summer learning loss that hits low-income students the hardest. And then there is the actual promise that gives the school its name. Any student who completes the program with a 3.0 GPA and graduates high school gets a guaranteed full-ride scholarship to the University of Akron. No partial aid, no maybe. This is full tuition, guaranteed. LeBron pledged $42 million to fund more than 1,100 college scholarships. The university was so inspired that they renamed their entire education department after his foundation. It is now the LeBron James Family Foundation College of Education. In 2020, Kent State joined in, offering 4 years of free tuition and a year of housing to graduates, starting with 240 students in 2018. By 2024, enrollment hit 500 students from grades 3 through 8. In the first year, 90% of kids met or beat their growth targets in math and reading. LeBron did not just build a school, he built a direct path from poverty to a successful career. And he funded every single step of it himself. But he was not done yet. LeBron knew something most people miss. You cannot educate a child who does not have a stable home. The Village. In July 2020, the foundation opened the I Promise Village. 16 units of transitional housing inside a restored historic building, just blocks away from the school. The village was built specifically for local families in crisis. Families without homes, families escaping domestic violence, people with nowhere else to go, whose kids were failing simply because they did not have a permanent address. Each unit provides safety, stability, and support services like financial literacy, healthy cooking classes, and even home repair skills. The goal is not just temporary shelter, it is giving families the tools to never need emergency housing again. But for LeBron, 16 units was just the start. It was not the finish line. In June 2023, the foundation launched I Promise Housing 50 brand new affordable apartments for the East Akron community. 2, 3, and 4-bedroom apartments with high-speed internet, shared community rooms, and modern fitness facilities. Monthly rent ranges from $700 to $1,100. A school, shelter, and affordable housing. LeBron wasn't just writing checks to feel good about himself. He was constructing infrastructure, the massive kind that only governments usually build. Except he did it faster, and in the forgotten neighborhoods that officials ignored. Then he expanded even further, building an empire. On March 30th, 2023, his foundation opened House 330 on West Market Street in Akron. The name honors Akron's area code, and the building breathes new life into the historic Tangier, a legendary local event space. House 330 isn't just one thing, it is a complete ecosystem. Step inside to find a Starbucks community store, the first of its kind in Ohio, where every single cent of profit goes to the foundation. Staffed by I Promise families, it's a job training hub that pumps revenue back into the local community. Right next to the coffee shop, you'll find pizza, sweets, and a retail store. There is a massive space for Taco Tuesdays, money management workshops, and big family celebrations. At the very heart of the building is the LeBron James Home Court Museum, a special exhibit tracing his journey from the projects to the NBA, from local poverty to a billion-dollar empire. Then, in July 2024, they opened I Promise Health Quarters right across the street. It is a full-scale medical facility providing high-quality community care. They offer dental work, eye exams, pharmacy needs, and vital mental health support. The facility operates as a qualified federal health center. They take all insurance and offer lower costs for patients who don't have coverage. Think about that list: a school, transitional housing, a community hub with a museum, a Starbucks, and several local restaurants. A health clinic, all within a few blocks. All in Akron, Ohio. All funded or sparked by a man who missed 83 days of fourth grade because his life was falling apart. This isn't just charity, it's a city within a city. A real championship. But before he rebuilt Akron's future, he gave Cleveland the miracle it waited 52 years for. In 2014, after winning 2 titles in Miami, the King announced he was finally coming home. He wrote a powerful essay for Sports Illustrated, starting with 4 words, "I am coming home." Cleveland hadn't won a major trophy since the 1964 Browns. That's 52 long years. Multiple generations of fans were born and grew up without ever once witnessing their home city win a major championship. That long drought became a core part of Cleveland's identity. It was a punchline that the rest of the world used to mock them. During the 2016 NBA Finals, the Cavs squared off against the Golden State Warriors, the team that won 73 regular season games. Golden State took a 3-1 lead. No team had ever survived that in the finals. LeBron didn't just survive. He delivered the most dominant individual performance in the history of the sport. In Game 5, he dropped 41 points. In Game 6, he dropped 41 again. In Game 7, with the score tied and the clock ticking under 2 minutes, LeBron sprinted back to chase down Andre Iguodala and pinned his shot against the glass in what everyone now calls the block. Moments later, Kyrie Irving buried the shot of a lifetime. Final score, Cavaliers 93, Warriors 89. LeBron finished Game 7 with 27 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and 3 blocks. He was only the 3rd player ever to put up those numbers in a Finals Game 7. He collapsed and cried. The entire city of Cleveland cried with him. 52 years of pain vanished because the kid from Akron kept his promise. Then he went back to his hometown and just kept building. The kingdom. Right now, LeBron James is worth about $1.2 billion, the first active NBA star to hit billionaire status. His total NBA salary alone is over $581 million, more than any player has ever made through contracts. That Nike lifetime deal he signed in 2015, it is worth over $1 billion and pays $32 million every year. His media empire, Spring Hill, named for the complex where he and Gloria finally found safety, was worth $725 million in 2021. He owns a piece of Fenway Sports Group, the giants behind the Boston Red Sox, Liverpool FC, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. He also owns 19 different Blaze Pizza franchise locations. His investment firm, LRMR Ventures, is rooted in Akron, Ohio, not LA, not even New York City. Akron. Let that sink in. A billionaire with global business power chose to keep his headquarters in a mid-sized Ohio city of roughly 190,000 people, because that is how much LeBron James cares about the community that raised him from a kid. The I Promise network includes a school for over 500 kids and 16 units of transitional housing for families, 50 units of affordable permanent housing, a full medical health center, a hub with a Starbucks and a museum, $42 million in guaranteed scholarships, GED classes for parents, job training, free meals, bikes, and free transportation for the city. This was not just a school for show. LeBron was building a whole new support system. Schooling, homes, health, jobs, and money skills. Every single thing a person needs to go from just surviving to truly thriving, LeBron built it all. Right in Akron, for the families living the exact same life he once survived. From Unit 602 at Spring Hill to a massive mansion, a billion-dollar brand, and a community network that runs like its own local government. LeBron James does not just own Akron. Truth is, Akron owns him. He would not have it any other way. The kid who missed 83 days of fourth grade just built a whole school. The kid who bounced from apartment to apartment built housing. The boy with no healthcare built a medical center. A kid with nothing promised 1,100 children they would get to go to college for free. That is LeBron James. That is the Akron Empire. And it is as next level as it gets. If this story hit home, subscribe to Black Status and hit that notification bell. We dive deep into stories like this every single week. Tell us in the comments which part of LeBron's Akron Empire shocked you most, and share this with one person who needs to hear it today.